This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, let's talk a little New York Jets with my man Dan Leberfeld from Jets Whispers on Twitter. And of course, for you Jet fans, it's jetsconfidential.com. You can check it out there and you can subscribe. Mr. Leberfeld, good afternoon, sir. How are you doing, my friends?
I'm doing well. You'll see the streets of Manhattan in back of me. I usually make the trip, Big O, but with the media access being so limited, I find it to be a waste to travel all over the country to get 2 or 3 guys at a podium and no locker room after the game. So covering this game from New York.
No, that's fine. I'm just sad for your parents. They're probably pissed off, right? Does your family live here? No, you have family members down here?
No, they used to go there. They stay in this area now year round.
Oh.
But you're right. They used to be there.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right, because if the family was here, then you would have made the trek. I know that, right?
Yeah. So 2 less snowbirds down there right now.
Okay. All right. What the hell? Why'd they stay? Why aren't they here instead of over there, by the way? What's wrong with them, dude? I mean, if you got a chance to live there or here, come on, bro. That's why we're the 6th borough.
Especially now with the rules the way they are up here compared to there as far as – related to COVID, it's a little more open down there.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, our guy is not going to close anything anytime. That's for damn sure. All right, Dan, let's get into it a little bit. Another rough season for the Jets. Has it gone like you expected, or did you expect better?
Well, I would say offensively, it's gone like I probably expected with a rookie quarterback learning on the job. Defensively is the side that's been a little surprising. Yes, they're playing a lot of young players, but when the head coach made his bones as a defensive coordinator, and that was a big reason he got the job, even with young players, you'd expect a little more and a few less blowouts.
Well, you tell me, how has the young quarterback – I see 6 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Is he making mental mistakes? Is he making knuckle-headed mistakes? How would you describe his play? Is it just youthful mistakes or disturbing ones?
I think it's mistakes from a guy who was playing against North Alabama, Troy, Texas State. I know Western Kentucky's pretty good, but still that level of competition last year. And then you go to the NFL and you're facing defensive minds like Bill Belichick and Brian Flores. The windows are a lot smaller to throw into. The stuff he could get away with his mechanics and footwork, which are not in a good place right now. But against that level of competition into big throwing windows, he could get away with it. He can't get away with it as much here. So not surprised at his struggles, considering the huge leap in competition and the fact that he came out after his junior year. He's very, very young. So I know Bill Parcells used to like to pick senior quarterbacks. You look at Justin Herbert, Mac Jones. Junior prospects, I think, are a little even more behind the 8 ball than your typical rookies.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. There's no doubt that obviously young guys, you got to have some patience overall. But when you start to look at like you just mentioned, the level of competition, because I know that people were wowed by his athleticism and his arm, and I know he had that workout in the wind, throwing against the wind, nothing else inside that building, and people were amazed. Is it a guy you feel that you can build on? Is it a guy, do you still have the same kind of hype for him that a lot of people had when they drafted him, that some people thought he was the gem of the draft?
Well, first of all, I would have sat him this year. I think that he's a guy like Patrick Mahomes who sat most of that year. I know he played in a game at the end of the Chiefs year in a game that they didn't need. But I would have sat him this year. I wouldn't have played him immediately. Who knows what's going to happen? Some people argue maybe there's too many people whispering in his ear right now. They essentially have 4 quarterback coaches because Mike LaFleur, the offensive coordinator, is heavily involved with the quarterbacks and has a background as a quarterback coach. You have Rob Calabrese, who used to play University of South Florida. He is the quarterback coach. He's got the title. Matt Kavanaugh is in there as a quarterback consultant. He took over after the tragic death of Greg Knapp. And then you also have John Beck, the former Dolphin, who's now in the mix with the Jets. He was brought in midseason. He is Zach Wilson's quarterback coach when he's not with the Jets out in California. So I don't know what you think of that, but there's actually 4 guys coaching him right now.
Well, we had 3 offensive coordinators, so we're the same kind of mess. so yeah, you know what I think of that? It's pretty stupid. That's what I think of. Either you decide on who's the one guy that's going to be in his ear, and that's the one guy that should be in his ear. Because if there's 4, then we're playing telephone and we're back in elementary school, because it's never going to be the same story from beginning to end. And so that I feel bad for the kid. That'll be a really difficult thing for him to try to overcome, and the Jets are going to create more problems that way. Offensively, how bad is it for them today? What kind of a break does Miami get with a couple of their receivers out?
Well, it's also a rookie quarterback against Brian Flores and all those zero blitzes. Remember when they made the argument that they were starting Joe Flacco over Mike White, and that's a whole other story, because Joe Flacco would be able to handle the zero blitzes and make quick decisions. Well, he certainly did it on that one play when he got hit in the back and fumbled when he didn't recognize the zero blitz. So I don't know how that worked out for the Jets as far as starting Flacco, but the Mike White thing is interesting. He's from your area, Pembroke Pines. That game against Cincinnati was a game for the ages. And then he got hurt against the Colts after driving him down the field on Thursday Night Football. Then the next week against Buffalo, a team that was rated as the #1 defense in the league at the time, giving up 15 points a game. He struggles. I mean, every quarterback's going to have a bad game. And that was all she wrote. And we haven't seen Mike White in a month, Big O. He got COVID, so he was in the COVID protocols. And now he's got some other kind of illness. It's literally been a month since we've physically seen the guy. I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but I'd like to know what's going on with Mike White. I mean, I haven't seen the guy in a month.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy when you talk about that situation overall with Mike White. Did you like what you saw from Mike White? Because he had that one game that was outstanding.
I like what I saw a lot, and I saw that for 2 years in practice. He's a guy who goes through his progression smoothly. In the Colts game before he hurt his arm, on the pass to Elijah Moore from South Florida and Ole Miss, on that touchdown pass, it was perfect. He looked right, he looked center, he looked left, hit Elijah Moore. The guy is calm in the pocket. He goes through his progressions. He's accurate. He makes quick decisions that help the offensive line. I think he's the real deal. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe they feel he's a threat to Zach Wilson. But the bottom line is the Jets, if they play their cards right, if Zach Wilson doesn't work out, they have a heck of a backup plan in Mike White.
Or a trade piece, one of the two, if Zach does end up working out. By the way, while I have to say Zach's mom is a very good-looking woman, how has the whole social media and her running her mouth and all that kind of stuff, how's that gone off in New York? Because she is one that will speak her mind, as they say.
Are you talking about Zach's mother?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything recently from her on social media. It's possible she has said some things.
She's toned it down, is what you're saying, lately?
Yeah, I don't know how they're dealing with it. It's always tough on the family when the player is struggling and you see all those comments on social media, and there've been a lot of negativity about the player on social media, especially after what Mike White did, because the fans see there's another option in the building. So I'm not sure. It's possible she said some things, but if she did say some things, we would have heard about it. Even if I didn't see it, it'd be all over the place because there's so many people monitoring this stuff and looking to blow these stories up. So I think she's been on the QT.
Okay. All right. Good for him, because you definitely don't. I know she was kind of very vocal in the offseason and the preseason at times, but lately, I guess she's kind of taken a back seat, which is good for the kid, because especially in your market, dude, I don't know if you want to be the smart ass parent trying to, challenge the media and fans in that market. That would not go well there, Dan.
By the way, I don't know if you know this, Big O, or not, but her brother started JetBlue Airlines.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea that her brother. Wow. All right. So I guess they're doing well.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. Defensively, what do you expect them to try to do to the Dolphins today?
Just play more fundamentally sound football. I mean, I feel like a broken record at this point. They have this philosophy, all gas, no break. I'm sure you've seen that. That's a Robert Salah mantra, and that's fine. But they play defense like that to the nth degree, meaning they're constantly being so aggressive that they're overrunning plays.
Ooh.
And with the Dolphins probably running a lot of read option, that's probably not ideal for the Jets defense. Jets defense needs some major work in the offseason. They do have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. And if I were them, I would consider picking defense with all 4 picks. They need better coverage linebackers. They need another edge rusher. And they desperately, Big O, desperately need corners. They got cute in the last draft trying to get late-round steals and fit them in the system, and it's really hurt them. And their pass defense is one of the worst I've covered in all my years covering the Jets. The guys are flashing wide open opponents all the time.
Okay, so that's good. Without Waddle, it looks like Tua will be able to pass. And you're giving me some hope now that the Dolphins that have no running game, they might be able to pop a couple of runs because of the aggressive play, and they might be out of position.
They're very poor at setting the edge. I mean, guys are getting outside. Alvin Kamara did it last week. I've asked about it about 5 times. What do you guys have to do better to set the edge? And I keep asking them, and they're like, they give an answer, then it doesn't change. It doesn't change. Shaq Lawson, who you know well, who's on his 4th team in a year, and he was on the Dolphins. He's a great guy. He plays hard, but his instincts aren't great, and he's had issues setting the edge. Quincy Williams, the brother of Quinnen Williams, the guy's one of the hardest hitters I've ever seen, but he's constantly overrunning plays. He bites on a lot of misdirection. So I think the Dolphins, even with their question marks in the run game, will be able to run today because on top of all that, Foley Fatukasi was put in the COVID-19 protocol deal. He's one of the best run defenders at defensive tackle.
All right, so I leave you with this. The prediction, I guess you've got the Dolphins winning on this one?
I can't pick the Jets almost any week because of the way they're playing on defense. It's not even about Zach Wilson. It's the way they're playing on defense because even if he plays a decent game, you don't want your rookie quarterback having to put up 30 or 40 points because the defense isn't stopping anybody. Look at Mac Jones with the Patriots. One of the reasons it's working is because they're keeping the scores down.
Right. Yeah.
And last night when the score he came back, but if they get out of control with the score, I don't know if the Mac Jones formula could work. If he had to get into a shooting match with another quarterback.
No,
so in one regard, Zach Wilson's a little bit of a victim here because the defense is giving up so many points. So I'm going with the Dolphins.
All right, yeah, I'm with you. With Mac, he can't play that game of catch up because so far he doesn't have an offense that's explosive. He plays in a box. They keep him very conservative in his passing game. Actually, Belichick really hasn't unleashed the kid and given him free range to really try to attack. I think he doesn't trust him yet in that, and that's why they've kind of kept him in a conservative way for that passing game. And yesterday, like you said, once they fell behind, that became a real problem
except in that Jets game against New England and Foxborough where they put up a 50 spot on the Jets defense with Mac Jones.
Right. Well, okay. Hey, plenty of hope for our boys today. I like what you're saying there. All right, for you stinking Jet fans out there, you got to follow my man Dan at Jets Whispers. Go to jetsconfidential.com. Call him 1-800-932-4557 if you want to subscribe. If you are a Jets fan, He is Dan Leberfeld. Dan, as always, you're a stud, my brother. Thank you for taking some time, especially on short notice. I appreciate you.
Anytime, Big O. Enjoy the game today.
You got it, baby. You be good. Thank you.
You too.
There you go.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.